And she didn't have that. So they were always kind of pissy about it. But it's like anything that went wrong, y'all was laying at Charlie's feet. And then for you to turn around and basically be like, well, I hated basically what you saying, I was hating on my half-black sister who would be down here sometimes because I got an issue. Like, that was foul. It was also foul that Nova was putting in her book about Blue's, that how Ralph Angel is not Blue's biological father. Even though that's the only father that Ralph Angel has ever known. And his mother has been, he took care of that child in spite of it not being his biologically, even though his mama was on drugs, even though Darla has gotten herself together. So you put all their business out in the street without consulting them, and then it was just like, well, we need to talk about it as a family. But with all the stuff going on with that farm and their day-to-day life, when have y'all had time to talk about that? I thought it was a punk move. I want them to go ahead and resolve it. But like, I get why, you know, like their aunt does not says, you know, don't come around me, don't call me, because you at least knew, even if you didn't know the extent of what her first husband, Jimmy Dale, who's played wonderfully by David Alan Grier, did to her. And you know she had always had trauma for that. And you went out of your way and you talked to Jimmy Dale, but you did not talk to your Aunt Violet and get the same side. See, I think the issue is, it's not even so much that you put all their business out in the street, but you were such a punk, Nova, that you didn't even talk to them about all this situation. Like, it's not your call to be putting into the book that Ralph Angel is not Blue's biological father. Blue is like in first and second grade, and he just like, it just happened in the last episode that they had, that somebody had read the book or heard a snippet or whatever, and just the kids talking on the playground. It's like, well, you know, your daddy ain't your daddy, and like the person wasn't even, the other little boy was not even, they weren't fighting or anything like that, so it wasn't even from a cruel place. He was just saying, like, you know, well, who looks after you, because you know, do you know your dad and all that kind of stuff. Because even though they're little kids, they understand different dynamics and how, you know, families are mixed up and all that good stuff. But so that was foul. And then talking about she changed Darla's name, but it's like, y'all live in this small community, they don't know it's her. That was dumb. So yeah, and then the whole situation with Charlie and Davis, that's her husband, you put that in the book and talked about how she paid somebody off. You didn't, and to the point that we don't even know all the details that she was giving out, and some stuff is not even, she made it seem like it's more salacious than it is. So I wanted to know, what about your own dirt? Like, did you put in that how you were on this whole, you know, Black Lives Matter and all this, but you were sleeping with a married white police officer, and you didn't have no qualms of breaking up his family? How she was like, she sold drugs to Too Sweet, but that wasn't that big a deal. It's just like, you didn't have enough going on with your life, and you didn't even reflect on your own personal psyche. But it's just like, you put all your family's business out in the street and didn't talk to them. You just made and like I'm saying, I'm not even saying she couldn't have written this book, but the fact that she didn't talk to them, it just makes all these things, it makes everything seem salacious. And y'all know, it's like, and still in the midst of all this, Charlie and Ralph Angel still got to deal with that farm. Still got to deal with that. You done woke up your aunties, your poor auntie who has lupus, and she finally got something nice going on in her life with her new husband, Hollywood is a gym, and her new restaurant. You know, she was really able to own something to have it herself, and so you done opened up this whole PTSD on your poor auntie. And it's like, well, we needed to talk about it. Well, the time to talk about it would have been before. You're talking about, you assume that your daddy killed somebody that said something about you. I'm not saying that he didn't, but you don't know for sure, and you put it in there. So, you know, ain't no research, you just talking. It's just like, it just made everything seem salacious in a way that it did not have to be. And it's like, and of course people gonna notice. I've noticed that a lot of the black characters, at least somebody black, will always bring up like, oh, this is great that you talked about this, and because she's pushing it as the narrative of a black of a regular black American family. But someone always was like, well, yeah, how was it when you talked to your brother and sister about this? How did John Vi feel about this information? Because you put about her abuse. It's like, and Vi even says is that you know, everybody is permitted their own secrets. It's not even secrets. Some things could stay between you and God, and everybody is permitted that. She was like, cause I'm not sure, you know, even though he's not here, I'm sure your dad would not even appreciate you writing this about him. So it's like, it's just a punk move all around. I'm ready for them to wrap that up. Yeah, I have not been watching Pretty Little Liars. I got bored. I have not caught up with The Handmaid's Tale, but I don't keep my Hulu on the whole time. Anyway, so, but they messed up with that because them dropping it every Wednesday. I'm like, drop the whole series like y'all did with other things. That's the only thing that's messing up with y'all between Netflix and Amazon Prime. Everybody else dropped their whole series at once. Let me binge and keep on watching. Let me see how June is being done. Like, I was just like, you know, I know that people were talking about, you know, it's got a race problem and how they deal with. I was like, well, Handmaid's Tale has always had a race problem because basically this is like the dream of, this is like the nightmare of like a white feminist. It's like, well, what if this happened to us in the United States when for black women in particular, that this has been happening. This is not new. That's just like oh, they have control of your womb. Like they've been trying to do that, girl, and y'all just didn't figure that out. Like that, even the whole anti-abortion thing that's going on right now. They're basically trying to get rid of Roe v. Wade and have been coming up with any kind of thing. It's like basically white women ain't having enough babies. Y'all don't care about black children. Y'all don't care about the black mothers. Black women have the highest rate of, for a first world country, the highest mortality rates. It's not even just in the US, it's in the UK too. So, you know, it's like so you're not concerned about us. You putting little brown babies in cages and they dying of typhoid and the old diseases that, you know, happens when you clump a bunch of people together like animals. You know, you don't even put a bunch of dogs in one cage because they'll get sick. But that's what they've been doing to people. So that's what it's about. And we're supposed to see it through June. I was like, but I honestly, I ain't seen it for June from jump. I was just like, I get it, but like, or that give more character. I know she does not have to be perfect, but give some more characterization to, oh, you know something that I noticed? It's like you see a couple of black people scattered in Gilead and a couple of black handmaids, but I have not seen any like Asians or any Latinos, at least of color, because all Latinos are not black or Mesa or whatever of color, because that's the ethnicity, not a race. So it's always had a race problem, but you know, y'all also the same people that just now found out in the last season of Game of Thrones that they had a race problem. I'm like, that's not new. It's like you don't know nothing about the Dothraki. They just brown and screaming. That's all you know. Brown screaming savages. That's all you know about them. And now you mad because your favorite white girl died. Like, come on. You know? So the same thing that like people didn't recognize that about The Handmaid's Tale. And I was watching Julesy talk about this, and I will see if I can link her in the description box where she was talking about because I believe she's read the book and how there were no black people in Gilead or as being a handmaid in the book, because even though, and you know, this is kind of foul too, but I get what she was saying, because if we're basing it off of like a zealot evangelical group has basically taken over the bulk of the U.S. and have taken over the government, but they banished all the black people because they thought that all the black, you were in there's another area for us, for the blacks, because we are the children of Ham, so we think it's cursed, which, you know, that is what like Mormons and the like have believed. So I could see that, and that's what that group is supposed to be based off of. You know, like, it's weird, like that's why you don't come across many black Mormons, even though apparently there was a black Mormon lady on Life After Lockup or Love After Lockup. So, but yeah, it's weird. You don't see too many, because they're one of those people that thought, like, you know, you heard in the Bible how Noah's son that saw him naked after he was drunk and passed out. So why is his son that covered him up cursed? You know, it's like, I'm trying to help you out. You the one that came out here and got drunk and you're naked. I got to look at your thug to put you're cursed because you saw your daddy naked. I'm like, okay. So even though this is nowhere in the Bible, people have assumed that is his black son. So if he's got this black son and that all black people are descended from Shem, he was the black son. I was like, so wouldn't none of the other sons also be black? So how did y'all come to this conclusion? But that also goes back to people have always picked and choose different things for them to justify their barbaric and dehumanizing actions. That's, yeah. And that's that on that. So I need to catch up. I need to catch up on Legion. I won't even get into. I love Legion, but Legion is hard as Hades to explain to people. But it's really good. Yeah. That's what I've been watching. I watched Stranger Things too. I like the 3rd season. People are like, well, what's going on? What's been going on with Stranger Things? That's not as good as the 1st season, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, it has to progress beyond that. I mean, the kids ain't even looking kiddie no more. You know, they have grown up so much in that time. I liked it. I didn't love all the outcomes, but that's that. I still enjoy a good cohesive story. Game of Thrones. I don't care that, you know, I don't think it's necessary. Sometimes you do need to kill your darlings. And I'm not even sure that certain people are dead, because we didn't see nobody. Even though the first time we saw this weapon, people all turned into mush and goo. We didn't. So I don't know if that person is dead. People like this other, which some black fans and fans of color, I want us to stop getting so worked up about everything. Like, of course, they was going to try to. Some people never had an issue with Billy, besides him being a bully. But Billy the bully. But like, oh yeah, so we're supposed to feel sorry for him, this racist. I was just like, I don't think they want you to feel sorry for him, but you see where it all comes from. Like, but you saw that when they first introduced Billy, that his daddy is trash, and he always has been. He was trash to Billy in the 2nd season, and bullies do get bullied. That's how they become bullied. I'm like, that doesn't make anything that he's done right. So I don't feel no kind of way about that. I said, what I do feel a way about is that you know, we got other random black people around. They're not the main. There's only one main black character, even though we got more of his sister this time, and that's Lucas. And I want Lucas to get some more black friends. Because Erica's got her little squad. And then the only thing with Erica, you can tell that this is written by a white person who's not around black children. Because it's like, okay, she is the sassiest of sassy to ever have sassy. And I'm like, come on, Eric. Like, lay up. She does not have to be like this all the time. So, but I enjoyed it. We got to see some of 11's growth. 11 apparently lost her powers at the end, which that's not a bad thing, because she, of anyone, even though they have always been having issues with the upside down, the Demogorgons, and whatever they called him this time. It's like he was like the Wraith. Nope, that's not what that's called. That's another show. But it's the same kind of entity that has always had an issue. They've always had an issue with. But you know, I think I like, and this is the spoiler that I will say for them. Like, I'm glad that the buyers moved away, because you know, my boy, which I don't think that means it's over for them, but you know, Will has been going through it every season. This is the first season he was not going through it. You know, they kidnapped him. The monster took over him. And 11, it could not be good for her to always be going into that other realm, helping and doing everything with her power. I'm like, her brain, she always has nosebleeds anytime she do something. I'm like, y'all using it for fun, and that can't be healthy for that little girl. That's what I'm saying. That cannot be healthy. Even though my mom was like, well, is she an alien? I'm like, I don't think she is, but they was messing with stuff in her head and in her brain. And she was always having that nosebleed, always falling out and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, that's no. Squash it. So she moved because I guess she's fostered or adopted by you know, the buyers. So I was like, yeah, all y'all need to get out of town. Something's wrong with this curse. I want all y'all to move, actually. But something's going on with their little town in Ohio. But yeah, it was good, and you could see the little bit of time progression, and how they had basically got a mall in town. Yeah, another thing I've been loving is Nosferatu. Even though I'm not gonna say too much about that, because I'm still confused on some parts. I've been watching it. Been watching it ever since it came on AMC. If you guys watch Sailor J here on YouTube, she plays Maggie on there, so I'm happy for her. Good for her, and she's doing a good job. But anytime you hear, I'm not sure that he's a vampire, but I don't think it's the traditional come to suck your blood vampire that Zachary Quinto is playing. But he's been like kidnapping kids and taking their youth and taking them to this place called Christmas Land. Like, he's been doing this for well over 50 years. More than 50, because that old woman who had the strong creative that could help, yeah, she's like in her 90s. So yeah, it's a good show. That's another show that's hard to explain without me going into it. If y'all will want to talk about that, we can just say yay or nay down in the comments. And also A Discovery of Witches is interesting too, on Witch Lore. That's based on a set of books. It did really well. It was a BBC originally. They had it on Amazon, not Amazon. They had it on AMC like Premiere. But I'm not paying for no streaming service. Another one, not for no regular channel. So no, but I ended up watching it. It was really good, and it's basically like witches and demons and vampires, but they work differently. Like, these vampires are immune to sunlight, so they're more of, and witches are born witches. That's the same thing with the demons. And yeah, I wouldn't even say all the demons are black, but like, they're another class of supernatural, and it's like this, they have not been they have a ruling body among themselves. So that's real interesting. This has been a lot. I'm gonna stop right here, because we can go on and on about TV shows that we like and watch. I might split this up into 2 parts, so we can this will be a little easier to stomach to watch. All right, thank you guys for watching. Tell me if there's anything you want me to watch, and we can discuss and get into a dialogue. I know y'all don't really necessarily respond to these videos, but I like watching I like TV. It's a lot of good things on TV. That's why people don't want to sit through bad TV. But some of the scripting and all this, and there's a lot of stuff coming up that I'm interested in. Like The Watchmen looks really good. That preview. I have not watched Westworld. I can. We got HBO. That one, His Eternal Gifts or something like that. It's supposed to be. Y'all remember The Golden Compass? I know a lot of people said they hated that movie. The Golden Compass was okay, but which is a big series of books where they turn into a TV show. It's not called The Golden Compass, but that's what it is based on, like His Mortal Gifts or something like that. I know Lin-Manuel Miranda and Ruth Wilson and James McAvoy are in that. That looks interesting too. That's gonna give us our little fantasy fix until whenever these Game of Thrones, which I don't know how that's gonna do based on the reception of the last season and the series finale of Game of Thrones, how well that's going to do. So that's going to be interesting. It's supposed to be a prequel. I know we are getting Starks. So it's supposed to be based on the Long Night. I'm like, y'all picked the Long Night, no shade. But like, of all of the things to pick, like, but they have several pilots going around. Cause I know like, they had like 5, like 3 of them, like I know 2 of them got rejected. Because yeah. So 2 of them got rejected. I know it's not gonna be Robert's Rebellion, which is what I would have been my vote, and then just do it like they did Spartacus. You know how Spartacus is only supposed to be this amount of shows. They only had that extra season where they did like a prequel because the Spartacus the original Spartacus got sick and he ended up dying, so they had to recast. It still was a good recast, and Spartacus was good. So but Spartacus was only written to be like 3 or 4 seasons. I like that too. Like, you know, it's only supposed to be this amount of time. Tell your story and keep it pushing. Quit trying to make up stuff. You know, that's when you try to push past that. That is what happened with Game of Thrones when they ran out of source material. You know that I said I wasn't gonna talk about it on here no more, but you know them scripts, them episodes, the dialogue became struggle bus. Like, what are we talking about? It's like, and I won't give you any. That's not even a good excuse because you are both what? Professional writers, and y'all getting paid millions upon millions of dollars, and y'all got all these tens of millions of dollars per episode, and y'all choose to do other things. Because here's the thing, the things in the budget for the show, that ain't your personal money. That's going to the show. You might as well use it what you got to do. And we can all the CGI and all that. Like, we'll go back to fussing to that at another time. Yeah. But anywho, there's those prequels coming out. They are being filmed. Naomi Watts is in it. That's what I know. I saw a picture with Starks. I'm not sure if she's a Stark, because the people that they seen her in a dark wig, and then with her natural hair color with some extensions. So I don't know, and that's fine. But yeah, I would have chose the Robert's Rebellion. That one that they were talking about old Valeria would be interesting too, because you know people like, yeah, they did things. I want to see Dunkin' Egg, but he's not done with Dunkin' Egg. I need to cut this out. This need to be a whole different video about prequels I want to see. That might be another video for y'all. Okay, let me get up out of here. And remember that Nessie loves you. Please comment, like, subscribe, and get into this TV. Tell me what you guys are watching. Nessie loves you. Bye.